What's up, guys? Today I want to walk you through a pro-style workflow for taking quick phone recordings and turning them into something that genuinely feels polished. I have spent years juggling setups from tiny home studios to full-blown recording booths, and the truth is, a phone can get you surprisingly far if you treat the cleanup process like a real workflow instead of just a quick fix. Also, stick around because I'll show you how to turn those cleaned up long videos into ready-to-post viral clips without grinding through hours of editing. Yes, automated editing and scheduling are a thing now, and trust me, they will save you so much precious time. But first, before we talk clips and automation, we absolutely must focus on the audio quality itself. I'm just recording this exact narration right now on my phone, using a standard voice memos app, nothing fancy at all. It's the same result you'd get if you just hit record on your camera app or any quick interview application built into your device. The phone itself isn't a magical piece of studio gear. It's certainly not a high-end Neumann microphone setup, but it is decent enough for capturing content. It manages to capture the full audible frequency range, it's incredibly portable, and most importantly, it's what the vast majority of everyday creators are actually using right now. When you put a raw phone take next to a recording from a pro mic feeding into top-end preamps, the differences immediately become obvious to a trained ear. Specifically, the phone usually captures more distracting room reflections, a higher inherent noise floor, and a less flattering overall frequency balance. But here's the crucial takeaway. You can successfully solve most of those inherent problems with a methodical processing chain applied in the right order. And the sooner you tackle the biggest acoustic issues first, the easier and cleaner everything else in the chain will become. So I usually think of three main significant problems when I'm staring at raw phone audio files. Those problems are the general background noise, the strong room reverb or reflections, and that uneven, slightly muffled frequency response. If you manage to clean the reverb a bit first in the chain, the rest of your processing, including noise reduction, EQ, and compression, has to do significantly less heavy lifting. That's the core principle we are following. Reduce the messy, chaotic stuff early so later plugins can focus on musicalizing the voice instead of constantly fighting unwanted artifacts. A lot of seasoned post-production pros immediately reach for the dialogue De-Reverb module found within industry-standard audio repair software for that critical first step. Software like that Advanced Edition has a dialogue De-Reverb module that honestly feels kind of like magic if you know how to correctly dial in the specific parameters. You need to set a conservative reduction amount so you are not unintentionally smearing the natural quality of the voice, which is a common pitfall. Then, bump up the sensitivity setting so the software can effectively separate the unwanted reflections from the direct desired speech signal. And critically, keep the ambience preservation setting fairly high so you don't end up with weird silent gaps or a generally lifeless hollow sound quality. Now, I know that particular professional toolkit is not cheap and is definitely aimed at editors who handle this kind of work daily. However, when that powerful tool works as intended, it can genuinely save you many, many hours of tedious manual work over the course of a month. If you absolutely do not have access to that suite, there are absolutely still many other tools available at lower price points that can certainly help you. I will list a few of those more accessible options later on, so you can easily pick the one that best fits your current creative budget. After that crucial reverb cleanup, the next step in my process is moving into dedicated noise reduction processing. The core idea here is to bring the intended dialogue clearly forward without turning the remaining background ambiance into a mushy, underwater sounding mess. A common noise reduction module within professional tools is super friendly to use, you just need to put it in its adaptive mode. Then you simply pull back how much reduction you actually want to apply, and then just let the algorithm begin to run its course. It is surprisingly effective right out of the box, but as with everything in audio, remember that moderation is truly the key to success. You want to reduce the noise just enough so that it stops being distracting to the listener, but not so much that the voice suddenly sounds brittle or unnatural. Most modern denoisers will offer you either a specific noise profile setting or a flexible adaptive mode to work within. If you are capturing a consistent room tone right at the start, taking a quick sample of that silence usually gives demonstrably better results than just relying on the blind adaptive modes. Once the reverb and the ambient noise are both under control, equalization is the step where you finally start making that phone recording truly sing. I always begin by applying a high-pass filter to surgically remove any low-end rumble, usually somewhere between 60 to 120 Hz depending on mic proximity. Next, I carefully notch out any honky or nasal sounding mid-frequencies that can unfortunately make a voice sound artificial or overly colored. Following that, I will often add a very gentle broad boost in the presence range to help that voice effectively cut through the mix. A fast parametric equalizer with an intuitive workflow like the one you see here is my personal go-to tool for this kind of surgical work. But remember, any decent parametric EQ will achieve this goal. You are not trying to perfectly clone a studio mic, which is an impossible task. Your true objective is to make the voice sound present, clear, and most importantly, consistent with all of your other spoken content. A critical step in this refinement phase is constant A/B testing, flipping back and forth between your cleaned track and a high-quality reference if you have one. You will quickly learn exactly where the phone recording still falls short and precisely where your ear is finally satisfied with the result. Yes, you will realistically never achieve a truly identical sound profile, but you can get close enough that the average listener won't notice a difference in short clips. That is especially true once you've gone ahead and matched the levels perfectly and added just a touch of subtle transparency transparent compression. Speaking of compression, using a transparent compressor with light ratios and medium attack and release times will effectively glue the voice together. This gluing effect makes the delivery feel significantly more consistent across all of those different editorial cuts you've made. Then, you'll want to add a very small amount of a de-esser plugin to tame any harsh or overly emphasized sibilant sounds like hard S's. Finish this entire audio chain with a final, gentle limiter placed on the track bus to ensure all your peaks are kept safely in check. Again, the entire goal for this final stage is to achieve a sound that is smooth and totally natural, not overly squashed or obviously processed. Now here's the point where almost every single creator truly stumbles in their content process. All this great audio cleanup is only ever half of the overall battle. Once you have that one perfectly polished, long-form take, you still have the massive task of turning that into dozens of shareable bite-sized clips. I'm talking about those viral moments, the quotable one-liners, and the short 15 to 60-second hooks that drive engagement. Doing that manual process is an absolute pain, especially when you're trying to publish consistently across TikTok, Shorts, Instagram Reels, and LinkedIn. That's precisely why I want to introduce you to the new generation of tools that actively automate the editing and distribution side of your content creation. There are frankly a lot of different video clipper tools floating around in the market right now for creators to choose from. Some are simply basic editors that let you chop up video based on precise timestamps you manually set. Others attempt to auto-detect highlights based on complex engagement heuristics, but those often miss the real gold. Expensive, sprawling production suites exist that can do a lot, but they are usually confusing, bloated, or frankly built for massive production teams. The main problem with many of these older options is that they still demand far too much personal tweaking from you, the creator. You still end up having to listen to every single clip, trim the edges, manually choose thumbnails, and manage individual uploads, which defeats the entire purpose. My current go-to, however, is built specifically for creators who genuinely want to spend their energy making great content, not babysitting the distribution process. This platform automatically scans your long-form videos to find those undeniable high-impact moments like natural punchlines or sudden emotional beats. It then turns those identified segments into completely platform-ready clips with the correct aspect ratios and formatting applied instantly. While it isn't totally perfect and you should always glance through the auto edits, it nails a surprising number of picks and saves you actual hours every week. The integrated AI also does a remarkably solid job of trimming clips with rhythmic cuts that actually match the speech cadence, avoiding awkward jump cuts. Beyond just intelligently picking the best moments, the tool's auto-schedule feature is an absolute game changer for maintaining presence. You simply set your desired posting frequency and the system cues the clips to publish across your chosen social channels based on your preferred cadence. This is huge for solo creators or very small teams who need consistent daily posting, but do not want to wake up at an ungodly hour just to hit the upload button. Paired with its integrated content calendar, you can plan out, preview, and tweak every single clip for every specific platform, all from one centralized dashboard. That single centralized workflow is massively underrated because you are managing 10 different apps through just one powerful hub. And for the sound nerds out there, the original Pro Tools still absolutely matter in this system. You can certainly run your phone audio through those dedicated heavy-duty restoration suites first for the absolute best cleanup possible. Then, you simply drop that fully cleaned master file directly into the automation tool for clipping and final scheduling. That combination represents the absolute sweet spot. Use the specialized tool where it matters most, and then let the AI automate the editorial heavy lifting. What I truly do not recommend is trying to manually clean, clip, and schedule every single long video episode by hand because you will ultimately burn out fast. One more practical note for those of you who are more budget conscious, please do not panic because you do not need the absolute top tier plugins for decent results. A few inexpensive but capable denoisers, one solid EQ plugin, and some conservative processing can take your sound quality a very long way indeed. Then, you use the clipping and scheduling tool to optimize for socials, and suddenly your entire operation becomes incredibly scalable right away. The real advantage of this automated system is that it scales perfectly with your content output volume. Post more long-form episodes, and the system automatically turns that into dozens of new shorts without doubling your actual weekly workload. So here's my quick, practical, step-by-step recap to get you started today. First, record on your phone, but always be mindful of your physical placement relative to the device's microphone. Second, fix the absolute worst acoustic problems first. Tackle the de-reverb, then immediately follow with the noise reduction plugin. Third, apply EQ and light compression to polish the remaining sound until it meets your personal quality standard. Reference that Pro mic track constantly with A/B switching to ensure your ear is trained on the target sound profile. Once the audio sounds perfectly good, drop the final file into an editor or straight into the smart clipping software for instant short form generation. Finally, let the system auto-schedule those punchy clips across all your necessary platforms so you maintain a steady, consistent stream of content flowing out. That potent combination of careful audio restoration and smart automated distribution is what will help your videos look and sound professional without stealing all your valuable time. I sincerely hope this entire walkthrough on professionalizing mobile recordings was useful for your current production needs. If you found value in this guide, please smash that like button and consider subscribing so you don't miss future deep dives. And if you really want to nerd out on specific plugins, new tools, and the best automation tips I've picked up, follow me over on my Instagram handle. I share short, specific breakdowns and satisfying before and after audio examples there every single week for you to study. Seriously, if you are producing any kind of long-form video content and want to test a workflow that actually frees up hours while maintaining quality, you need to try this pairing. Pairing a simple, smart audio cleanup routine with the new automated editing and scheduling capabilities has fundamentally changed how I approach my entire content strategy. I truly believe this streamlined approach can completely change how you manage your publishing schedule and quality standards as well. All right, thank you all so much for watching this video today, and I will absolutely catch you in the very next one.